Good morning, everybody. I'm excited about this one because this is one that really hit home for me. And because we've really been lied to about burnout. It's not just crying under your desk or coming home and going to bed and crying yourself to sleep or quitting your job or closing your business or whatever that is for you. That's the stereotype, right? Is just collapse and exhaustion and I'm burnt out and I'm broken and all of that. But versus the reality is sometimes burnout can hide behind a polished, successful human being. Somebody who is successful on paper, but there's misery going on underneath. That's burnout too. So, just a quick story. When I was working in corporate, I had a very demanding job, as most people in corporate do, and I was working 80 to 100 hours a week, sometimes even more. And I was a sales manager, and I trained the sales team, and our center was one of, I don't know, 50 or so centers in the US. And, each month I was persistently and consistently, which was awesome, in the top three in sales for the United States centers. And, it was awesome and it was making a difference. But I was really successful on the outside, but I did not like who I'd become. And that was the burnout. And I didn't, people said I was killing it, right? My manager used to compare the people that came after me to me, which that's another story, shouldn't happen. But anyway, the point is that on the outside, everything looked really good. But who I became for myself, that nobody knew about on the inside, I felt dead. I was unhappy with who I was that was hitting those numbers. I just didn't even know who I had become. And I didn't like it. And that was burnout, but I didn't go home and collapse and cry. It really was just not knowing who I am. And that's burnout too. So there's really three hidden faces of burnout. There's that overachiever trap, which is what I just shared with you, that you hit the success metrics, you are doing really well on the outside, but there's no joy, there's no even satisfaction maybe with the success that you have. It's kind of a rote thing. You're good at what you do. You hit the matrix, you make it happen, but there's no satisfaction. There's joy is completely a flat line, and it's kind of a day-to-day experience of living. And then very close to this is the mask wearer. Anyway, you're smiling, you're performing, you're doing all the things, but you're numb underneath. And you may even be numb that you're numb. And I think that's important to realize, because people told me I don't think I'm numb. But there's this place where we get to sometimes where we're numb and we're completely numb to being numb. And that's this mask that we wear where everything's on the outside, and we get so good at performing and wearing this mask of somebody that we're not, that we don't even know who we've become anymore, and we're numb to that. And then there's the numb hustler, okay? And this is, you're running on autopilot. There's no real connection to yourself. There's no connection to what it is that you really want. You may be sacrificing yourself for the needs of other people. You may be doing things, the people pleaser, kind of doing things for other people, putting yourself on the back burner. This is the numb hustler. You don't take time for yourself. So all of this is burnout that doesn't always shout. Sometimes it's just whispering. It's just a little niggle in your mind. until you can't even hear yourself anymore. So now there's a real cost to this. And the cost of ignoring it is sometimes your confidence can completely erode. You, even though you're successful on the outside, that's almost like who the armor that you wear. So you lose confidence in yourself. You're constantly second guessing yourself, wondering what it is you really want, and saying, oh, never mind. The other thing is there's a real health impact, and it can tank your health, right? It impacts your hormones, your sleep, weight. It could be weight loss or weight gain. Your nervous system is fried. You're always a little on edge. You never quite calm down. And over time, that nervous system that is on edge all the time will directly impact your health. And this is the one that I really directly impact with my clients is your desires vanish. You forget what you really wanted, what your desires are, what really lit you up in the first place. You know, with my corporate job, I was a little nervous about going on staff there, but I was excited because I had been leading programs up till then, and going on staff and making the difference around the world for people just seemed like a beautiful idea. And, you know, I made a difference for a lot of people, hundreds, probably thousands, really. And when I think about that, it's something I'm very, very proud of. But it really locked me out of what I really wanted. There was a lack of aliveness inside of what I wanted. What I always thought that I wanted had been pushed aside for some bigger possibility that was really somebody else's. So we can forget about who we are and what we really want. And it's time, because here's the thing, it's so important for us to realize what it is that we really want, that we come to life again. Because the one thing I know about you, I mean, if you've listened this far, I know who you are. You're somebody who's making a difference, who wants to be their best self. You may have a business that is impacting others. You have dreams. And there's a bigger vision that you have for yourself that maybe you're not living right now. Burnout is not proof that you're broken. It's maybe proof that your soul is done living on fumes. It's your body, your intuition, they're begging for a recalibration. And it's possible. So we want to keep it simple. And if this hit home, don't wait for the collapse. I invite you to take a look and what you can do to start to recalibrate your dreams and your life. This doesn't mean shutting down everything. It doesn't even mean quitting it. I don't know what it means for you. And there's an opportunity to recalibrate and connect to what I call the field, the quantum field, not just what I call it, the quantum field, right? Where all possibilities lie. Where when we're in this burnout, we disconnect from that. So if this hits home, DM me alive or put it in the comments and let's chat. One of the things that I love to do is give people a 15, 30-minute conversation that I promise you will flip a switch. And whether you do anything more or not, there's no strings attached. So hit me up with a live and let's talk. And for you to, at the very least, realize something that's underneath that's begging you to do something about. All right, that's it for all. Have an amazing, amazing weekend. I love you all. Bye for now.